Okay, let's go onward. I've got to replay one part for you, and I'll be back with you.
Before, and you can't be said enough. You're cowards. You truly are cowards. You prey on women. They give you their love. They give you their trust, and you betray them. You betray it by physically and or mentally abusing these women. And they stay with you, notwithstanding that for a while. Well, yeah, you're shaking. Because I think what they probably are doing is, I love this person. I trust this person. This must be some sort of aberration. This just is not the man that I married or that I fell in love with. And they're right. You weren't the man that they thought you were. So anyway, you start abusing them, and then when they finally have had enough, they try to leave. And you guys just can't understand why they leave such wonderful men like you. But they try to leave, and you can't stand that because you can no longer control.
Okay, what'd you see there? That's right. You prey on women. We're cowards. That's right, see? If you stand up for yourself against a woman in today's world, you're a coward. That's what the judge says, okay? That you're really cowards, that you prey on women, and that you abuse these women. Do you see how this judge is staying one-sided, staying very sexist, okay? And the reason I'm saying that is, well, sexist against its own gender, but the reason I'm saying that is because, once again, what do we never hear? We never hear both sides of the story. We never hear the real truth. You hear what they want you to hear. One side of the story. That always paints the women out as the victim. Always. Yes, she was the victim in being killed by him. Yes, I agree with that. And yes, I agree that he's where he belongs, behind bars. Okay? Because he was definitely wrong. But the problem is you're not showing what led up to it. You're not going after the symptoms. Or that's what you're going after. That's what I mean to say, is you're going after the symptom because you're not going after the cause. Because the cause, remember this, by golly, it takes two people to fight. Yeah, that's right, it takes two people to fight. I dare you to go beat up yourself. Go ahead, fight with yourself. Maybe you can kill yourself and your other self can get prosecuted for killing yourself, right? Because it takes two people to fight. And you see what this judge did right here? What this judge right here, what he said right there, shows that he hasn't got no balls. He's pussy-whipped, okay? Yeah, this is a pussy-whipped judge, okay? Who slams his own gender, okay? And don't report both sides of the story. What he really told you, people, is that if you're a man, and if you stand up for yourself against a woman, even if she attempted to kill you and you killed her, you would still be a piece of shit. Trash. You're a man. She never does nothing wrong. She gives you her love. Hold on! Excuse me! In today's society, you don't know what love is. How can you give what you don't know what is? Oh, that's right. She gave him her love. She gave him drama, then more drama, then more drama, then more drama. Treated him like utter shit because she was on a pedestal. That's love, you know. It's love in today's world. It's like when she's stabbing her husband, which we've seen these cases happen. That's her making love to him. When he stabs her, it's him making love to him, to her. Because that's love in today's society. And this is how the courts keeps the division. This is how the courts allows women to continuously paint themselves out as the victims. That's right, as the victims. I'm sorry, but this pisses me off because you see the one-sidedness here. I don't condone what the man did. He's where he belongs. But both sides of the stories need to be heard. You need to know what she said, and you need to listen to him instead. Oh, he's just making up excuses. Oh, I'm assuming for him. I walked in his shoes. You didn't walk in his shoes. You're fucking assuming for him. Don't fucking cut shit. You wasn't there. You wasn't in his shoes. You didn't see and hear and know anything that was going on in that home. And neither did the judge. He just didn't flip out one day and go do this shit to her, and he just didn't do it to her because she was leaving him. He said some very key things here. If you go back in part 1, you'll hear it. What did he say? This could have all been avoided. All she had to do was let me see my kids. My kid. That's what he said. Go back and listen to it. What does that tell you? It tells you there was drama coming from her, wasn't there? We was using the children as a weapon, wasn't we? That's right. But you think the court's going to talk about that? Fuck no. Yeah. That's what I want to get across to you people. I don't side with this guy at all. For what he did. But I don't side with the judge neither, because the judge, well, I'm sorry. And you heard the judge. He told you about 2 other men that he locked up all in those last few months. That's probably because domestic violence is going down, like Smiling Skeptic said, right? Yep, there's lots of bodies going down, because that's what happens when you're dead. You fall down. It's fucking pathetic. Watch out. There's something else to show you.
Neighborhood in Waltham now forced to deal with the tragedy of domestic murder.
Tonight, the Middlesex DA is searching for answers. Our Kimberly Bookman begins 11 minutes of nonstop news live in Waltham. Kimberly, what can you tell us?
Well, Bob, it all happened in that White House with the boat in the driveway. What we understand is the couple, who are each 48 years old and have lived here for years, are dead. But what led up to that is still under investigation. A Waltham husband and wife carried from their home in body bags after a neighbor found them dead in their kitchen. Their small white house pushed back off Coolidge Ave, now pegged a murder-suicide scene.
You don't want to think that happens near you or anybody, and I don't know them that well, but I mean, she's the first woman who came to rent that ran across the street and said, "Hi, I'm Cindy, you know, are you going to live here?"
Sometime after Veterans Day, 48-year-old Michael Katumis, a military man with a son in the Naval Academy and an American flag flying at his door, allegedly turned on his wife, Cynthia.
Michael Katumis has shot his wife to death and then turned the gun on himself and killed himself.
Neighbors are shocked.
Average family, working, earning a living, bringing up their family, going to church.
While no one seemed to hear anything out of the ordinary coming from number 39, the woman across the street says she did notice lights on late Thursday night into Friday morning, and Cynthia Katumis' car backed into the driveway instead of straight forward like usual. But nothing that pointed to real trouble.
You would never think this in a million years.
But it does seem to keep happening. Earlier this week, a Chelsea couple arguing about ricotta cheese for a lasagna got into a violent argument, and she ends up dead in the driveway. In June, a Winchester man fighting with his wife about finances allegedly killed her, their 2 young children, and his mother-in-law.
The one thing that's for certain is it's not a class issue. Domestic violence can occur anywhere. Unfortunately, it does, and this is another tragic incident.
Neighbors in this case tell us that these folks had 2 children, 18 and 21 years old, left parentless tonight. Live in Waltham, Kimberly Bookman, News Center Fox.
What'd you hear there? Yeah, that's right. That's another happened again, isn't it? And what did they say towards the end of the video? It does keep happening. That's right. All over the place. Well, of course it does. Because you don't know what love is. Because you don't know how to treat one another. Because you treat each other like complete utter shit. Because people think that they can treat each other the way they do not want to be treated themselves. And proof is when we speak out and show you what you're doing, a whole bunch of you complete utter morons attack us for showing you the truth. So you're responsible for this stuff right here. So you people attacking me and Dwayne and the TFL movement for showing you this, just remember this: when you attack me, it's because you're just like these people perpetrating these crimes. You're the cause. You're the reason that it's happening again and again and again. You just don't want to be showing what you're doing. You don't like to be showing the consequences to what you do. And then the one-sidedness in the courtroom. The one-sidedness keeping one gender on a pedestal. The one-sidedness only reporting one side of the fucking story. Never both sides. And it's always the man that's being slammed. Always. The women hardly ever get slammed. Matter of fact, the women, they're always the victims. Even when they're the perpetrator, they're the victim. Even when they're the one making the drama, they're the victim. That's right. Don't matter what they do. They're the victim. They're the victim. They're the victim. They're the victim. They love their victim role. I mean, that's no lie. You hear women all over this fucking country, everywhere, saying they've all been molested. I bet you there ain't a woman on the street that you couldn't ask that won't say she's been molested. I'll bet you if there was 5 million women standing here and you asked them all, every last one of them would say they've been molested. Every last one of them. Why? Because they all enjoy the victim role. That's why. Nobody wants to chase after the cause. You all want to chase the symptoms. And then after you're through chasing the symptoms, it happens again because you're not going after the cause. Okay? And then, of course, the one-sidedness. Never stopping to think about what really happened. How did this start? Who did what to who? That it takes two people to fight. You just don't get it, do you, people? Get your heads out of your ass. Think about it. Leave your comments and opinions. In the next video, you'll be